Tracy's, we met through LinkedIn, Tracy and I, and then I went along to Tracy's Bob Clubs. Loved it, absolutely love Bob Clubs. So if anybody's watching this who needs, who'd like to do a referral-based networking in the morning that isn't really, really onerous and there's no pressure and it's just once a fortnight, it's a fantastic thing to do. So please get in touch with Tracy. She's putting this on free for her members and she's opened it up to anybody else who wants to come along. And I do apologise for any squawking you might hear in the background, which is my son's pet parrot. Really annoying, and I apologise. Okay, so let's get going on this. So what LinkedIn doesn't do for you is sell for you. Not even that LinkedIn package that says Sales Navigator. No, it doesn't. It's no magic bullet. Before you go looking at things like Sales Navigator, paid options, you have to understand what you're doing with the free option. If you don't understand what you're doing with the free option, the other thing isn't going to work, because all it does is it helps you to do what you need to do on the free option just a little bit more efficiently. So otherwise, it's like buying a subscription to a gym, opening the door, looking at the equipment and going, I don't know how to use any of this equipment, and then failing to go back. So keep hold of your money until you know what you're doing on the free version. So how does the free version really work? So before I share my screen, there are a couple of ways in which it works. One, it's your marketing and advertising platform. Okay, so it's going to help you with your brand visibility and, if you get it right, your brand positioning. You know, how is your brand perceived? So with that in mind, please accept all connection requests. Nobody on LinkedIn is useless. It doesn't matter whether you know them, whether you don't know them from a bar of soap. It doesn't matter whether they're in another country where you don't actually export to. It doesn't really matter. You can have 30,000 connections. If someone isn't your target market, they may comment on your post, which, as we'll see a little bit later on, is incredibly valuable to you. That will, A, help to push your post further out in front of more people and in front of people you're not even connected to. Also, as we will see, when you use the filters to go finding your target market, you'll get better results the more connections you've got. If someone really does turn out to be a pest in some way, you can always delete them, block them, report them. Even people who connect up and then send you a cold sales pitch through the messaging system, they'll only try it 2 or 3 times and then they'll stop. And you can tell LinkedIn, this is spam, send this kind of thing to the spam folder anyway. So it doesn't really matter. And they're giving you their network. So that means it's a networking room. Of course, it's a networking room. And I've just seen that James has just asked, even if people are direct competitors. Well, have a look at how well they're doing. Are they acing LinkedIn? Are they doing really well with it? Or are their posts not being seen by anyone? You can always tell because they don't have very much engagement on their posts. So actually, if you connect up with them and you do better on LinkedIn, and you're going to get in front of their connections. So really, it really is up to you. They can't really tell who from LinkedIn who your customers are unless they're people who've given you recommendations. And those people are not for moving if they love you that much. And if people want to know who your clients are, they can go to your website and look at who your who's given you recommendations anyway. So it really is a personal choice, but it wouldn't bother me. I'm connected to several people who do what I do. Don't think about competition. I don't really believe in it. I collaborate with other people who do what I do. There's enough business to go around, and people will choose the person that they vibe most with. So don't worry about that. Okay, so it's your marketing and advertising platform, and it is your networking room. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen now. So I'm going to start showing you some things. Okay, let me just take some of these off. Okay, so what you have to think of, I'm just using my profile as an example here, and try to think of it like this. This profile is two things. It's the virtual you in a virtual networking room. A networking room with 750 million people in it. So you wouldn't walk into a networking room in which you knew that not only were the referrers, but your target clients looking tatty, unkempt, or without your marketing material, or your business cards, or a smile on your face. So we need to replicate you in this room as near as we possibly can replicate you. Okay. The other thing that we need to think of is that it's also like your shop. Imagine if somebody gave you a physical shop to sell some products. You would want a fascia sign, you would want windows so that people could see into the shop, you would want a glass panel in the door. Unfortunately, this shop on LinkedIn has none of those things. Nobody can see your profile unless they come and visit it, as in they come through the door. Some people will say to you, you must pack your profile with keywords so that when people are looking for your product or service on LinkedIn, they can find you. Can I just challenge you right now to think, how many times have you used LinkedIn to find a product or service? Do you ask the people in your network instead? Do you go to Google instead? Because that's what most people do. So what you have to do is kit your shop out with all the lovely things that it needs to have. Point of sale material, testimonials. It needs to look bright, clean. Everything in there needs to say, buy me. But then you have to get out into the street to find your target market, approach them, talk to them, smile at them, and give them samples, and then they will start to come into the shop. Okay, that's how it works. No shortcuts. So I'm going to show you how to do both, to make it both of these things. So first of all, the banner across the top is your free advertising space. Use it. It makes you look professional if you do anyway. Be aware of this one thing. Research has shown that over 60% of people only access LinkedIn through a mobile phone. Oh, how much smaller are things on a mobile phone? Okay, so when you do your banner or anything in a carousel, a document, make sure that the font size is really big so that people can actually read it on the phone and quite uncluttered. But also remember that your profile photograph will be much further up and much further over to the right, so it will obliterate any writing that you put over to the left. Now, I know Canva has some amazing templates for you to make these banners out of, but you really need to move some of the wording over to the right. So just be careful of that one. Your profile photograph, I think that rather than doing black and white, color brings warmth and reality. Remember, we're trying to replicate you. A good head and shoulders shot. Why? Because people need to see your face. And if you're too far away, if you're wearing dark sunglasses or something like that, it's not gonna help people to bond with you. Too close and they will feel like you're in their face. Okay, how far when you're out in a networking room do people stand from you? They will probably see about your head and shoulders. Please look directly into the camera, because when you're looking directly at the person who's visiting your profile, you look like you're interested in them. And smile. It's no good trying to look away from the camera and do something like this, thinking you're being arty. It's not arty, it just looks rude. Okay, you can also animate this, a bit like, you know, the Harry Potter pictures, so that when people first land on your profile, they will see 3 seconds of animation here, and they'll have to click to see more. In that way, we see more of those non-verbals. We hear the tone and timbre of your voice, we see the expression on your face, and we get a lot more warmth from you. And Tracy, I know, teaches a lot of this kind of thing when she's teaching networking, about how we read other people. So it's quite important that you come over as friendly and approachable. And you also have the ability to make sure people can pronounce your name properly, because if they can't, they might be put off ringing you up in case they sound, you know, silly. But also, you have a few seconds there to say a little bit more. So don't just state your name. So mine doesn't just say Pam Case. It says Pam Case here. Please give me a call if I can help you at all. If you have any questions about LinkedIn, you've got a few seconds, use them. Sound warm and approachable. Remember also that about the first 43 characters under your name are the very first thing that people are going to see. And when you go out from this virtual shop, sending connection requests, commenting on people's posts, writing your own posts, the only line that is coming with you is the little bit that I've highlighted there. So you better make it impactful, because Joe Blogs of ABC Industries does not mean anything to anyone. Hit people with what you are going to give them. What are you going to do for them? What is the outcome that they will get if they work with you? Think of it as a pickup line rather than a strap line. What will make people say, ooh, and come over? Then you can actually put more on there. The reason for putting things like this and this is just to make you seem a little bit more human, a little bit more approachable, not just a faceless corporate person. It's all about getting known and trusted and liked. As Tracy will tell you, in face-to-face networking, it's exactly the same on LinkedIn. Okay. Providing services and having a review page is something that you can only get if you switch on creator mode, but it does also mean that you will have a follow button instead of a connect button. You will also get talks about and some hashtags if you have creator mode on. I'll just show you this providing services. So this is the reviews page, look. And this is something that you can share with prospective clients if you have creator mode switched on. So is it worth sacrificing the connect button for a follow button to have all these other things. Plus, if you have creator mode switched on, you can also do LinkedIn live shows and you can do newsletters. So swings and roundabouts. I do wish that we would be able to also have Connect, but we can't, which is why I've made it really clear that I would love to connect and share my network with people. Don't worry too much about all these, you know, how it ranks you, because it ranks you on things like whether have you put your school on, and nobody really cares whether you've got your school on, so forget that one. Make sure you have a featured section, because this is where you can feature your best work. So it could be a testimonial, it could be an award, or it could be links to courses or products that you offer, or a lead magnet on your website. Make sure that the first three will show. Make sure that they're impactful and they give people a damn good reason for clicking through. And myself and Innie and Denny run these courses, and we get quite a lot of people clicking through and booking on through these links in the featured section. The other thing that happens if you have creator mode switched on is under activity, we're only going to see the posts that you have done. It won't be cluttered with, like Tracy Heatley commented on this, Tracy Heatley commented on that. It will just be the posts you have created. And that's nice and clean and uncluttered. When it comes to your about section, the worst thing I see is when people say something like, the first word is experienced. Experienced accountant, for example, with a demonstrated history of, and by that time you've lost the audience. Even if you're using LinkedIn to try and get promoted, to try and get another job, to try and be headhunted, please be more original than that. Talk, even the people that you want to attract as employers are your target customers. You're selling yourself. But all people really care about when you're marketing anything is what's in it for me. That is the first thing they care about. After that, they want to know what qualifies you to do this, and the process is how you're going to deliver it. That's what they're paying you for. So that's the last thing they want to know. So in your about section, instead of saying I do this or we, yeah, I do this, I do that, I do the other, hang on, stop. Try to use the word you. Try to talk directly to the audience who are visiting your profile and align yourself with the problem that you know you are going to solve for them. Talk with them, not at them. So wherever there's an I, see if you can change it to a you. And even when you say my clients or our clients, it's almost like you're saying, not for you, my clients, not you. Okay, so think about the psychology of what you're doing and make sure that people know you've written more because you have a see more cutting off. If they read this far, they're going to have to click here to open it up. Make sure you bullet point some really great afters that you will give people some really great benefits and takeaways from working with you. What other people say about you, far more impactful than what you say about yourself. So how about a couple of lines from one of your best testimonials? And never ever leave anything, any piece of marketing, whether it's your website, a presentation or anything else, without a call to action, and never make a potential client jump through hoops to try and find your number or your email address or your Calendly link. And remember that some people prefer the phone, Some prefer an email and some prefer Calendly. And Calendly is like Marmite. Some people love it, other people find it cold, impersonal, and will not touch it. So give them a few options. You can also add underneath each of your employments, you can add some rich media as well, which, you know, videos, documents, etc. Finally, on your profile, and you can add all sorts of things like languages you speak, patents, books you've written, charities you've worked for. But one of the most important things is to get yourself a recommendations section by going to somebody that you have worked for or with and asking them by hitting the ask for a recommendation on their profile, and LinkedIn will give you the mechanism for asking them for recommendations to go on your profile. And then once you have them, you can choose. You see, I have some more pending here. You can choose to add them to your profile, and you can use them here, there, and everywhere. Don't be perturbed by 136. That is, it's a lot. Most people have 4 or 5, and that's enough. Don't think, you know, some people don't even have this at all. But again, you see, honours and awards, languages. Look at the profile sections that you can add that will make you look better. So once you've got this profile looking great and selling off the page and talking to your audience, people know exactly what they can get and they can see that other people recommend you. It's then time to get out of this shop into the street and find your target market. Yesterday, we were talking to a lady who said that civil celebrants, for example, could be really good people who could refer business to her. So it could be people who are in a good place to refer business to you, and it could be people who are your target market. So maybe you wouldn't think, well, are we really going to find civil celebrants on LinkedIn? So let's just take this one as an example. Please note that I'm putting them into speech marks, because if you're looking for a graphic designer, for example, you'd get everybody who had graphic, and everybody had, so you'd get interior designers and IT designers and that kind of thing. So bracket them with speech marks. Okay, so we then have a white bar, and we can choose to look at people. And LinkedIn is telling us there are about 1,700 people call themselves a civil celebrant on LinkedIn. You wouldn't think so, would you? Some results, depending on what you're looking for. If I was to look for accountant, it would be hundreds of thousands. But then I can narrow it down. First degree connections are people I'm already connected to. Second are the people they are connected to, but not me. Third is the next separation along, but be careful. There's a sneaky little plus sign here. Can you see? And this sneaky little plus sign means third plus everybody else in the whole world, according to LinkedIn. And you're only going to get the same huge result. So look for people who are, and this is why the more people you have connected to you, the better these results are. So 71 civil celebrants are 1 degree of separation away from me. Now I might think, well, actually, I don't export, so I only want to know which of these are in the United Kingdom. 63 of them are in the United Kingdom. I can even narrow that down and do this by city, which you will want to do if you're looking for a type of person who is, there are a lot of them on LinkedIn. You will want to narrow that down further by city, and then we need to look at their profile and we need to see whether they're very active. You can only send 100 connection requests a week before LinkedIn does this to you. Okay, so we need to look at them. Have they got over 500 connections? Are they quite active? Choose to connect with those people because they're more likely to accept your connection request. And don't waste your time with inactive accounts, people who haven't posted for about the last 90 days. Probably not the people to major on at the moment. So once now there are people on LinkedIn who say, I only connect with people I know. Then there are people who say, I'll connect with people I don't know, but only if they personalize the connection request. And then there are other people who say, I'll connect with people I don't know, but only if they don't personalize the connection request, because if they do, I think they're just going to hit me up with a cold spam pitch afterwards. So be very careful how you get around that. Maybe go and have a look at what they've posted recently and leave a comment on one or two of their posts. Then personalize the connection request by saying, love that post. And tell them why you liked it. I've just left a comment on it. Is it worth connecting? And don't over egg it. That's good enough. Or just fire off a connection request without anything, but try not to come over sounding disingenuous, because that won't get a really good take-up rate. Okay, now once you have been finding your target market and connecting with them, we're also going to look at the home feed. Okay. And what you will notice if you go and look at your home feed is that about 99% of the posts you will see will be from your first degree connections. Hey, that means that LinkedIn only shows your posts, about 99% of them, to your first degree connections, which is why you need to be connecting to your target market. So if you look at my home feed, you'll see that all of these people, now, let me just stop here for a minute. This is here from a business page because it has been paid for. You won't generally see very many, if any at all, company page posts in your feed. That you should always work through your own profile, because people buy from people they know and like and trust, not from a faceless organization. It doesn't work on LinkedIn. It's like going into a networking room with one of those roll-up banners in front of your face and trying to talk to people from behind it, and everyone will just walk past you. They won't want to talk to you, and you'll see in a minute why that's important. Okay, so what you find here is all of the people that I'm seeing in my feed are my first degree connections. The only time I will see a second degree is if one of my first degree connections has commented on it, and then I might see a second degree connections post in my feed. But as you can see, it's quite hard to find. There again is another, they have paid for that, otherwise I would not be seeing it, and I'm definitely not going to open it. Here's an example for you. Okay, so Shuja is my first degree connection, and he has commented on Ben Jones's post. Who's his connection? So he has now pushed Ben's post into my feed. So now I'm seeing it. That is how you start to end up with second degree connections commenting on your posts. So this is one of the other uses for people who send you a connection request. They may not be your target market, but they may comment on your post and then put it into the feed of their connections. They're like free leafleters. It's like you're saying to them, here are my leaflets, and they're going and pushing it through other people's doors for you. Now, another thing to know about this feed is all of these people, there's another promoted post for you, just went past there. All of these people who are my first degree connections here, whose posts I'm seeing, I have an algorithmic bond with them. That means I've commented on one of their posts before, or they've commented on mine. And we've said to LinkedIn, these are the people we want to network with. Show me more of their posts and show them more of my posts. Okay, so if you're not commenting on the posts of your target market, you're not creating the algorithmic bond, which is going to ensure that they are more likely to see your posts. And you want them to see your posts because you want to stay front of mind with them. So please connect, comment, keep commenting on your target market's posts, keep that algorithmic bond going, and keep posting. Now, the next problem that you have is that when you have actually, as you are writing a post, LinkedIn has a spam filter going over it, and it's looking for things it doesn't like. Things like salesy speak. It thinks, and it kind of downgrades your post. And it will then show your post to a small handful of people to see how it goes. Because what LinkedIn wants is for this home feed to be a great place where people are networking and having conversations with each other and building up rapport, relationship, and resonance with each other. Okay. And if it fills this feed with salesy spam, people will leave in droves. It's all right, people going, this belongs on Facebook. No, it doesn't. There is no rule whatsoever as to what you can and cannot post on LinkedIn. You can post anything you like, and people are drawn to doing business with people they know and like and trust. So it's good to give a little bit of you, and just don't talk business all the time. Imagine being in a networking room, Ms. Jim. All he talks about is photocopiers. So boring. And I just don't want to talk to him anymore. And people start to avoid you. And it's exactly the same on LinkedIn. So don't sell, sell, sell. And I'm not saying never do sales posts, but kind of engage your audience and get to know them, and they get to know you, and then they're more likely to read your sales posts and respond to you. And make no mistake, LinkedIn is made up with a massive number of lurkers. They're the people who sit on the side of the dance floor and watch everyone else dance and never get up and join in, right? So the people who never ever comment, and then they come out of the woodwork and they say, I've been reading your stuff. Can you give me a quote? There's a lot more people watching you than you think. So LinkedIn shows your post to a few people, and if you get a conversation going on your post, it then thinks, okay, this looks like something people are interested in talking about, so we'll show it to a few more people. And then a few more people comment, and so it goes on. and grows until people stop commenting. So how do you get people to comment on your posts? Talk with them, not at them. Engage them. Include them as part of the conversation. Ask them questions. Answer them when they comment on your post. When people comment on your post who are your second and third degree connections, thank them for commenting and ask them to connect up with you, because these people are great algorithm pushers who like to comment. They're active LinkedIn users. You want them in your network because they are leafleting for you and you want that. So the more people who comment, the more other people comment, and the more people get to see your post. The more people who get to see your post, the more people visit your profile. The more people visit your profile, the more connection requests you get. The more connection requests you get, the more first degree connections you have, and the more people see your posts. And this builds in ever increasing circles, and you build your reputation, you build your corporate brand, you build your personal brand, you build fans, you build leads. This is how it works. There are no drive-through breakthroughs. Never send a cold spam pitch until you have built that relationship with someone, commenting on their posts, maybe sending them some things that they might be interested in, and also vary the style of your post. You will find that a well-written post can't be too long, but it can be too boring. But if you write well, people, look, 77 comments, people are going to comment. Be aware that you do not need to go looking for a stock photograph to add to a post, because posts with photographs on don't do as well in the feed as a good plain text one. Plain text, poll posts, and multi-page document posts tend to perform the best. They get more views. I'll give you an example of a document post. Document posts are great because they act like a little book. So here's one. You still have to write well. And this is a document post. Now, can you see that there are 46,105 views here? Some people I've trained go way, way beyond that. One of the people I trained got over 660,000 views. What's a view? A view means that somebody has had your post on their screen. Doesn't mean they've opened it. It doesn't mean they've read it. So you have to learn to write posts that capture people right from the beginning and make them stop and go, oh, what's that? You have to learn to write in that way. People say, oh, views aren't important. Of course they're important. A percentage of people who view your posts will come and visit your profile. A percentage will connect up with you. A percentage will become your clients. It's a percentages game. What's 90% of nothing? So of course the number of views matter, but don't be obsessed by them. Just make sure that you're commenting on the posts of your target market and getting your posts in front of them. Don't use more than about 5 hashtags. 3 to 5 is optimum. Don't litter them. It's not Instagram. It will go against you. And don't litter the hashtags through your post. It looks desperate and it looks salesy. Just talk to people. And only use the hashtags that your particular target market might be following. So if you do a post about sausages, don't put hashtag sausages. It doesn't matter. Put hashtag whatever it is. Just stick to the hashtags. It's about getting you in front of your target market, no matter what you're writing about. Okay. There's about 10 different styles of post. Please vary them, otherwise you will just get audience fatigue and people will switch off. Try some video. Please try put captions on videos. Some people are deaf. Some people are in an open office. They don't have headphones. And also they have to start watching your video to see if it's of any value to them. But if they can read the captions, they might go, ooh, and actually stop and watch your video. Views on videos are counted differently because they're only counted the people who actually literally click on them and watch them for a certain number of seconds. Okay. Tracy, is there anything I've not covered so far that you would like me to cover?
I think that gives everybody a good understanding of the profile, and so I don't think we've got time to go into all the filters and stuff. People are at different stages of using LinkedIn, so I think it gives a good overview, but there are some questions. I just want to go back to some of them because some people missed a few things. Now I've got some people put them in the Q&A and some in the chat, so I'm just going to go back. I did have a quick look before, so I know, and forgive me for missing your name if I have, but I do remember seeing it just as we're scrolling up just now. Somebody's asked about how they open the profile up to make sure, to reviews, and how do we get reviews on there? Reviews,
okay. Yeah. Are we talking about the reviews page or recommendations?
Reviews. So you mentioned something about reviews.
The reviews page. Okay. Yeah. You have to go into your settings and you have to switch creator mode on.
And then it gives you the option immediately then to do the reviews. It'll take you through different stages then of things that you can do.
Yeah. So it's quite simple, and then you just literally then go into your providing. It will ask you what the services are that you provide, and then from your actual profile, you will just have to click see all details, and you will be able to populate this. But then you literally have to ask people to do you a review, and it doesn't come. It will send them an email. It's always good to actually phone them in this instance, or send them a message and say, look, I'm going to do this. Can you look out for it?
Yeah, that's a good tip, because sometimes people miss them.
Yeah.
And also I think sometimes not to be offended about things like that, because people go onto LinkedIn at different times, which is why I think what you said about looking at how often people have commented is a good thing if you're looking at new connections, because sometimes not everybody goes on every day. Some people don't go on it hardly ever, whereas other people it can be a lifeline for their business and they're on there all the time. So yeah, I think that's
don't forget as well, if you're in Bob Club or any other network and you want to get somebody in your target market to come in and network with you, this is how you find visitors. You look for them, find them, invite them along.
Oh yeah, we've got a good tip here. So James said, Chris, KRISP will get rid of the squawking, and he's put a link in the chat there for you to use so that you can block it out if you want to.
Do you know, I don't hear it as much as I used to. Maybe I'm just tuned out.
Right, okay, so here we go. We've got a couple of questions here. Okay, I have loads of posts on my business page. Should I repost them on my own profile? So I think that James is referring to sharing them. So
no, right, okay.
I knew exactly what you were going to say, but yeah.
Right, okay. So when you share a post, whether it's from your own business page, somebody else's business page, or just somebody else's post, you will find that they get very, very little engagement, if any. Now, this is something I need to tell you, that within the first hour of your LinkedIn showing people you post, you need to get at least 5 substantial conversational comments on your post, because to make LinkedIn think this is worth pushing out further. So you have the first hour to get it going, otherwise it'll kind of fail. And for some reason, people just do not engage with shares of posts, and they just really just die in the feed. So if you've got them on your company page, go and copy them and reword them as if they're coming from you, and make them comment. It doesn't matter what kind of post you're doing. And when I train people, I teach them where to find inspiration for what to post, how to get ideas, how to construct the post, how to space it, how to draw people in, how to get the engagement. But the key to it is making every different kind of post conversational.
Got another one here, which is more of a comment, I think, in response to what you were saying about being yourself on LinkedIn, which I agree with. I've been seeing a lot of stuff about training people on being an authentic on LinkedIn and training people on being authentic on social media, which prompted me to write a blog. It prompted me to write a blog a couple of weeks ago, because for me, you know, planning to be authentic is like planning to be spontaneous. It just doesn't work. But I get what you're saying about being yourself, and I've lost where it is now, but I will come, I'll be able to, just give me a sec. I think it was James again. So what he's saying was, when you're saying about being yourself, he's saying if I post things like religion, politics and things like that, he's worried then that people will unfollow. So I guess, you know, there's a limit to what you what you would do.
It's common sense, isn't it? Now, this is, I was having this conversation with Tracy recently, and I was saying this authentic, this is a buzzword at the moment, everybody's using it. And actually, I would say, you know, some very nasty people in history show up as their authentic selves, and it doesn't do them any good, because not everybody's authentic self is very nice. So what it really means is to not just copy other people's style if it's not really you, because just be you, your own style. However, this is what, right, okay, you know when I said you want lots and lots of views on your posts, you could put something really controversial about religion or politics or something, and you get lots and lots of people arguing with you on your post. Oh my God, you will. And yeah, you'll get thousands of views and you'll get profile visits, but they won't be for the right reasons, will they? So it really is up to you. And people can report posts they don't like and have them taken down. But please, just steer away from subjects that you know are divisive. That's my advice. But if you feel you want to do it, you want to do it.
The next question is, if you change to creator, this is from Kath, if you change to creator, the button on the profile, do your previous connections automatically become followers, or does it start fresh? That's a really good question, that, actually.
It is. No, they don't. They're still your connections. You just find that you get more followers after that than connection requests. One way around it is to keep an eye on all these new people who are following you and just go and say, thanks for following me, but I'm really happy to connect, and send them a connection request. I'm really happy to connect and share my network with you. So you do it the other way around. It's a one workaround.
Maybe if we all share and we keep telling people that everyone will know them, then it doesn't mean just follow. We've got a couple of comments and questions from Christine. So Christine has mentioned about lurkers and said it's true that she saw somebody yesterday she's not connected with on social media, She is connected with them on social media rather, but she's not seen them for 5 years, and they knew exactly what she was up to, because but they don't necessarily engage in any of the posts. And then she's she's saying that she tends to use a business page for posts such as product related posts, and then a smaller proportion of connections would be interested in. But she sometimes shares a post with personal profile. Is that okay? We've kind of covered that already. It's not, it's a bit like, it's just reword it. And you know, sharing, sometimes people appreciate it if you share stuff. So if I see somebody that I know that's advertising a job post or something like that, I'll share it as a means of helping them and letting them know that I want to support them.
Yeah, but if you comment on that post, it's doing even better for them, because A, it's putting it in front of some of your connections anyway, and B, it's bumping the algorithm, making the post look popular. If you share it, it won't get very much traction or attention. But what it does do, it sends a message to LinkedIn for them saying, this post is so worthy, I've even shared it. And it's good for them, but actually don't just share, make sure you've commented, because that's the more valuable thing you can do.
If in doubt, do both.
Yeah, exactly. You can do both.
Okay, so Len's asking, he's a bit confused about what's the point of the creator mode.
Okay, so when you have creator mode, you will automatically get the ability to create newsletters that get a big subscription and get in front of a lot of people. And you also get the ability to do LinkedIn Lives. And for a LinkedIn Live, so we could have done this as a LinkedIn Live. It means it's like a show, and you can schedule it as a LinkedIn event. But you have to use a third party application like StreamYard, which I highly recommend. And then you can do a show, and you can have guests on, and you can live stream it to LinkedIn. But you can only do that if you have creator mode. You also can only have your stars reviews page if you have creator mode. And also it shows just your posts on your profile, and not just all the other gubbins where you've liked certain posts and commented on certain posts. It strips all that out and just puts what you've created on there.
Right, okay, all right, somebody's just commented that they didn't know that StreamYard was on LinkedIn. I think we've got time for just one.
Got an agreed partnership with them.
We're going to be quick. If you are a sole trader, should you have your own profile page, or should you have a business page as well?
Right, okay, business pages are really good. They're really good help for SEO. Okay, so create a business page, they call it a company page, and put your logo on there and pack it with all the keywords that you would need for SEO and phrases. Then when you go to your own profile, it means that you can get your logo on your own personal profile, which makes your own personal profile look more professional. And then post through your own profile rather than the company one.
Perfect. I think we've managed to cover most of the questions that we had. For those of you that have logged on a little bit later than right at the beginning, do take your LinkedIn profile link and put it in the chat, and then Pam and myself, our links are in there as well. Thank you so much, Pam, for your free time today. I appreciate those tips. If there's anything about LinkedIn that's worth knowing, Pam knows about it. I'd highly recommend a training. And if anyone wants to know more about that, or my networking groups or training, marketing services, get in touch. We were 100% that there was going to be no selling here today. So we're not going to sell you any courses or anything. We just want to add a little bit of value so that your profiles are up to date and that you can do more networking online. So do connect with us. If we've missed any questions, I don't think we have, but if we have and you want to contact myself or Pam directly, just drop us a message through LinkedIn. and we'll be happy to answer those for you.
There's one thing I will say, and this is all I'm going to say, is I've got an 8-week course coming up. It's only an hour and a half a week. Everything will be recorded, and it's only £750, and I will be teaching you everything you need to know. And I can only take about another 7 or 8 people on it. And it starts mid-April, and you won't miss anything because it'll all be recorded. That's almost half the price of what I charge for one-to-ones. So get in touch with me quickly if you want a place. That's all I want to say.
We've got a few people that have said thanks. Thank you very much for your time, everybody. We have recorded it, so I will try and send the recording link out to you so that you've got that as well. And thank you very much for your time. Pam, if you just stay on 1 second, and then right. Oh, you're welcome, everybody. I hope you find it useful. Thanks very much. Have a cracking afternoon.
The sunshine.
See participants dropping now.
I knew that was Indrani. I know Indrani. Have you stopped the recording? No?